मेरा बस चले तो मैं free में दूँ. We don't run behind trade. It was the first time that, a fashion product was being launched in grocery stores. We hid t-shirts in Lay's packets. Price is not the way I anyway identify the premiumness of anything.
Do you ever think that, an Indian brand could be the next Louis Vuitton, and become that aspirational?
In fact, it's India's time now.
Hey guys, hi. Today we are here back with another episode of Brand Stories, and I think you are going to love this one. At Things to Do, it's all about helping you elevate your lifestyle with fresh ways of innovation and discovery. We know you've always appreciated our recommendations, and today's episode is no different. In today's episode, we are bringing forward to you a story that is woven with threads of social change, art, and human behavior. And this brand has been flirting with fashion over a decade now. We're talking to a brand that has become a cult in just not creating clothes, but evoking cultural conversations through its art of storytelling. And if we talk about storytelling, our guest for today is a true master. He has stirred both the Indian fashion scene and the hearts of many by his poetic approach. Please welcome Pranav Misra, creative director and co-founder of Huemn. How is life?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, actually. One message could do so much of difference. I didn't know that. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Okay, so the first question. So when you see any brand, first, let's say, for example, if you come across any brand, you always see the logo, you always see how the brand's vibe is on the Instagram or on the website. If it's an offline store, then we, of course, go and visit the store. We understand that we do the vibe check, that if this brand is something that I'm going to, last with or not. So when I saw Huemn, I also saw an ABC and XYZ written आगे और पीछे, right? Of course, the name Huemn, I understand the meaning of it, use of many humans, and it's a word place. It's very self-explained, But why that ABC and XYZ and with a strike through, and it's present in your logo as well. So it's like you could have kept completely Huemn, but you kept that ABC and XYZ too. Just a curious mind asking that. Why?
So it's very interesting. It's the first time someone's actually asking me this question. But that logo is literally designed by me.
Okay.
No graphic designer's contribution has gone behind that logo, because in our inception years, we made the logo and somehow it just wasn't sitting well. It was almost like something is incomplete. So it took me 2 years to actually arrive at that. And the philosophy behind that was simple, that anything and everything that can fit within the English vocabulary and the number of alphabets, the only thing that matters to me is those 5 words. और human के दायरे में सब कुछ आ जाता है. It's not just human as in the brand.
Yeah.
For me, human stands much larger than that. It's the community. So एक बार वो उसका जो meaning है वो define हो गया, तो फिर सब कुछ समा गया उसके अंदर.
Talk to me about the inception and how it started.
So everything is accidental. We just jumped into starting something of our own 12 years ago. It was co-founded by my business partner and I, and no strategy, nothing, no agenda. It was literally 2 children. As children, we always have something to say. But I've realized with age that most of these times we do not know what we want to say. It's the urgency to you, within yourself, you feel like you have a distinct voice and you need an audience. I think that urgency is why people dive into things. Maybe somebody becomes an athlete, maybe somebody becomes an actor. We got into this because we thought that this medium would provide us the right canvas to paint the picture that we want to paint.
So we have an audience who is always, who are always, intrigued about new things, trying out new things in life. And I see your collaboration efforts also over the years with some crazy brands that you have collaborated with, Lay's, Royal Enfield, Swarovski, Pepsi and all of that. So, how much of a difference it actually creates in terms of first your product launches, in terms of how much it actually creates a difference in the product line of the entire ecosystem, that particular launch of the collection, and how does it actually affect your current audience?
I mean, so far they've been supportive. I hope that they continue to support us and love us. But I think it's it's our commitment to keep serving stories which add freshness to people's lives. Because Huemn is not just a brand. It's supposed to inspire a feeling within you. So the idea is to get out of that comfort zone and try new audiences, reach out to new people, tell your story. From a brand perspective, we've been very lucky to have partnered with some of the most iconic brands that, I mean, larger than life. We've all grown up looking at Pepsi and Lay's and, all of these brands, Royal Enfield. So now it's like a full circle. Now adding any kind of value to these brands. That's why probably they partner with us. It motivates us. There is so much mutual respect, and it's a partnership in its truest sense.
Talk to me about any collaboration, anything that you remember of, any good thing that you remember of, any story that you would like to share, and any of these collaborations which might have happened on the set or on the, in the pre-part, in terms of, let's say a Lay's came to you or you went to Lay's. What was first what do you do? I mean, you write a story, you write a narrative and then pitch to brands, or brand comes and then you form a story for the thought that they would like to, kind of put out.
I mean, we find each other, just like true lovers in life. Somehow, everything has been very accidental. But, I mean, the most, if I have to give an anecdote, the most recent one that comes to my mind is we've literally partnered with Lay's just now and launched that IP last month. The most exciting part of that whole launch was that it was the first time that, a fashion product was being launched in grocery stores. So we did an experiment where, in select grocery stores, we hid T-shirts in Lay's packets, and those packets were planted in the shelves, and we put hidden cameras to record people, and then whoever found that packet, because that packet is also a little distinct packet with different branding. It's a look-alike, but it's like you can tell that it's something else. When you touch and feel, you figure out something else. Okay. And then they would feel joy, and that was really beautiful, because that's what we're here for. I mean, to add a smile to someone's face. As a company also, we don't run behind trade. Transactions, we are literally the filter effect of what we actually do. This really created a lot of excitement in the community, in our own existing audiences, and in the people who were just accidentally,
opening and getting a Huemn t-shirt.
Yeah, and that's what because I talk about inclusivity, but, I'm quite aware that, a Huemn entry product is priced at a certain, which is not easy for a larger landscape of India to get their hands on. It is a premium product.
But what's so special about that price point? I mean, of course, there are a lot of things which goes in the process of making that one t-shirt that, comes to your door. So I need you to talk to me about, the why that you kept that price point, the why of that. What is so special about it?
मेरा बस चले तो मैं free में दूँ, because I'm from Lucknow. My objective in life is not trade first. At the same time, we are committed to a certain standard and value that our community deserves to have. Our effort, however, has always been to make sure that a customer, a Huemn customer, gets our product at a much reasonable price. And I'll give you an example. I've seen designers in India selling 100% cotton shirts which are screen printed.
Okay.
Just because they are designer wear, I've seen them priced around somewhere between an 18,000 to a 19,000. I've been in trade. So when I'm selling a shirt at 100% cotton at a 9,500, you cannot make that shirt cheaper than I am doing, which is more inexpensive than I've already done, because that's the effort that I've already given. It's just that now our community is larger. So obviously we have those dialogues that it should be, a little more reasonable and things like that. And we're practicing to, we're trying to make our audience, solving that problem for our audience. Price is not the way I anyway identify the premiumness of anything.
Right.
Because I don't segregate people based on their finance backgrounds. कि ये इतना कमा रहा है तो ये मेरा audience नहीं है, इसको मैं इतना price दूंगा तभी खरीदेगा. I don't believe in those principles. My objective is for people to taste the product, the art that we are, wholeheartedly making, but not ready to compromise on the quality at any level just because the numbers are going to do well. Not going to work with factories which we do not believe in would handle our product in the right manner that we want them to. So the cost is because of that. And the way our audiences also look at it is not that they are buying or a pair of denims. They buy Huemn mostly because they are buying a story for themselves. I mean, you buy DVDs, you buy art, if to hang on your wall. How expensive is art? So the value the customer decides, and if you find value in anything, you pay for it.
So when you talk about aspiration, there is an aspirational buzz in the market. Every brand wants to become an aspirational brand. Do you ever think that an Indian brand could be the next Louis Vuitton, and become that aspirational, Indian brand going to the international markets? And because there are very few Indian few Indian fashion brands who have actually made big and has become a global icon. What are your thoughts about it?
For global dominance, see, मेरे like when मैं बहुत छोटा था तो मेरे father ने सिखाया था कि सबसे, और this is to leave an impact, कि सबसे पहले अपना भला करो, उसके बाद अपने परिवार वालों के बारे में सोचो, उसके बाद अपने मोहल्ले के बारे में, फिर शहर, फिर देश, फिर दुनिया, फिर ब्रह्मांड. सबसे पहले तो जब आप अपने इर्द गिर्द की कम्युनिटी को जितना ज़्यादा अच्छे तरीके से सर्व कर पाओगे, आपका दायरा उतना ही ज़्यादा बढ़ता जाता है. First principle is that. So there is no easy route. The only way to get through is कि एक step आप चढ़कर ही वहाँ पहुँच सकते हैं. Because वो customer loyalty comes with time. And certainly people can do it. People will do it. In fact, it's India's time now.
Your vision too?
No, absolutely. It's not just about कि global tag लगना ज़रूरी नहीं है. It's the vision is to have a larger network of people believe in what we do. A more diverse sector of audience, affiliated with us. We have our brand available in our 14, 15 stores worldwide.
Where exactly, if you could help us?
I mean, because of our efforts during Paris Fashion Week and Shanghai Fashion Week, we have a couple of stores in China and in Europe, Middle East, where from time and again, we keep giving our merchandise to these stores. खुशी तो इस बात की होगी कि कितने ज़्यादा, because we've built a brand which is equally relevant while you wear the same product in Delhi, whether you wear the same product in Japan or in New York or in Paris. You will not be odd one out. It will be relevant to that particular time, that particular location, when we've already done that.
What's your take on Indian fashion though? Like, क्या लगता है आपको? As millennials, we have a habit of, kind of going into nostalgia. We bring our stories from there. And, we try to relive those moments that we have not lived. This coming generation, which is the Gen Z, which is the Gen Alpha and all of these generations, what do you think how the Indian fashion scene will actually shift in the coming 4 years? Any thoughts behind that?
So that also has many dimensions. As an industry, I think, Indian creative people are very explosive. Somehow, as a community, we've struggled for decades to put brand first, and we've always put product or craft first. That could have been the shortcoming of why we've been unable to make a promising name worldwide of any entity. But as time moves now, because of just the globalization and because of just how transparent communication is, इसी में से 2-4 लोग निकल करके मतलब क्रांति लाएंगे, to be very honest, because it's like I honestly feel it's our time now, and there are many stakeholders in the industry who are extremely promising. I think we will also, this decade is also going to see maybe voices across fields, not just from design but from journalism. Because should you have placed the same entities any other part of the world and given them to spend 15-20 years in their life with that kind of craft, they could have been a global name by now. So I think that, that responsibility lies not just with the craft, but also the stage, how well you communicate, publicists. I think all of that is changing with the democratization of the entire affair. And 10 years from now, India will be at a much, much more powerful position from a brand perspective.
Talk to me about this new fashion show that we witnessed on Lakme, the partnership with the FTCI. How was partnering with Ireland, felt like, what worked around like? What was the journey? How it actually went?
First of all, it was a new way in how we created also, because usually everything is in vast canvas for us, when it comes to ingredients, Is bar kyunki Ireland and it's the fabrics that we were working with, all sustainable. I was surprised, there was one fabric which was entirely made from waste, discarded PET bottles. Just the feel in my hands, I could not make out. So there were limited resources within which then now you have to conceptualize and make.
There was also UV protection
Yeah.
and odor-free sort of a fabric.
Multiple these things. So many things were enlightening for us also on a fabric level. Then we
interesting.
made the collection in what? Our team always jokes around. We literally make our collections in 15 to 20 days. I think this was made in 18 days.
And how many pieces were together formed? Or how many
there were looks. We made around 36 looks, but total number of pieces we would have designed is close to around 100 plus.
Oh, lovely, impressive. And the models were just fab on the ramp. It started with a slow presentation, then leading it to such an aggressive walk, and kind of getting that, I'm sure the audience must have got some goosebumps on the floor.
Yeah, so how we had choreographed it also, we had sent a few of our familiar looks in the beginning. So what happens usually in fashion shows, I'll break it down also, usually you start with a very powerful look.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite.
Lovely.
So, the openings will be,
30% familiar set.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, you get an idea that, that this show is going to a certain direction. This is the feeling that I'm getting. Maybe you look into the phone, maybe you'll start talking because, okay, you're there, you've done, you've seen. And I let you fall into that kind of a trap.
Okay.
Where you might feel like, oh, it's average. There are chances because the pace of how it's designed, and then I like to disrupt. So in this one, it was primarily that, okay, this is okay. I've seen that, this is a new color and this and that. And then suddenly the 70% came and the entire pace changed. It was like almost like a tornado hit the
show
theater.
Yeah.
So it was choreographed like that. Even the mud on the faces and body, it was little nuances that was just literally there, you could not even see. And then towards the end, it just kept going, this thing. And then you will not be able to, remove your eyes, because I also don't give models that kind of time on the ramp that you come, pose, wait. Because कितना भी अच्छा बना दो, अगर मैंने 5 मिनट आपके सामने एक ज़्यादा खड़ा कर दिया, तो आप अपनी नज़र घुमा लोगे, because वो उसकी time limit उतनी है.
So how much validation is there for the acceptance of Indian streetwear in India, according to you?
It's a huge market and there are so many players within that.
Any of your favorites apart from Huemn? Streetwear.
I don't even know whether human people say that. We definitely don't object to it. But I don't know how comfortable we are also in just fitting in only the street narrative. I think ours is a avant-garde fashion label that dives in storytelling. But yes, street landscape is large, and we also have a certain share of it.
Yeah.
And there are people who've come up in the last 4-5 years who are also actively involved in that conversation, and it's grown in the last 4-5 years. However, it's going to dip in the next 2-3 years because that's how fashion is. But luckily for us, we've been in the center of any fashion conversation that has happened. And that is how fashion is. You have to be on your feet. You have to keep your audience.
It's a very, very niche audience that fashion already has. What kind of education do you really want to project out?
Just mindful consumption, I think the most primary part of it. I myself, I'm not a hoarder. I myself do not shop. So I think of our community also like that. But I buy a lot of books because that is what, that's something that keeps me excited in life. इसी तरह किसी को हमारे कपड़ों में किताब दिख रही होगी, उसकी किताब, उसकी डेफिनेशन की, तो वो लेता होगा. बट होर्डिंग कल्चर तो मैं खुद ही नहीं प्रमोट करता, तो ना मुझे समझ में आता है, क्योंकि इतनी सारी चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है नहीं. तो अगर आपका कनेक्ट बन जाए तो फिर किसी भी चीज़ का एक्सप्लेनेशन ज़रूरी नहीं है. तो वो कनेक्ट किसी भी चीज़ से बन सकता है. आपको हमारे कपड़ों से बन सकता है, किसी पेंटिंग से बन सकता है. What I'm trying to establish is that a progressive mindset, which is, which makes you feel liberated, which is free in opinion, choices of any nature, beliefs. That's what we are trying to, convey through our conversation and through our dialogue. कपड़ों में दिखता है तो अच्छी बात है.
And when we say products, a lot of people, would love to feel those products, go and see in a, in an outlet or, in a physical form. So no store so far. I know of that, you started a store initially in the beginning years and it got shut down and you could just sell one garment in 9 months and, it was a struggle period. From there to here, it has been a very, very long journey, I'm sure, and you've done something really fabulous in the work. But do you intend to also kind of bring, outlets and human stores?
हाँ, 100%. वो जब एक बार आदमी का ब्रेकअप हो जाता है ना, तो दूसरे अफेयर में घुसने में उसको थोड़ा सा दूध का जला छाछ फूंक के पीता है. वो हमने जब शुरू किया था इंसेप्शन ईयर्स में, हमने स्टोर से शुरू किया था. अब तो खैर दूसरी सिचुएशन है, बाय गॉड्स ग्रेस. But yes, it's on the table and we are working on it.
Can you show me some of your collections, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, yeah, lovely. I think love the collection over here as well. It was really nice talking to you, Pranav. I mean, the kind of insights that I've got and the kind of, the perspective that I've got from you, it's really different from others. That is for sure. And I hope you had a great time with us too.
It was a pleasure.
In terms of our audience to know your brand, in terms of our audience to understand what Huemn is, guys. So it's more than just a clothing brand. It's a story that you need to see and wear and understand. Really, really thank you so much for giving us this time. And that's a wrap.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on today's episode with Pranav. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of Huemn and understand the power of storytelling through fashion. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe and let me know what you thought about all the conversations that we deep dived into. And go and do check out the collection of Huemn, the newest collection that they have launched. It's amazing. It's phenomenally great. I think you should go and start buying also the products of Huemn. It's really fab. And I hope to see you in another episode with another story and another brand. That's a wrap.